All right, guys, we are up today. We have unemployment and non-farm payroll data. All right, so unemployment is expected. All right, so unemployment is expected at 3.5%, which is the same as last time. Non-farm payroll is expected at 170K, going down a little bit month to month. Last time they showed 187,000. This time they're expecting 170K. Yeah, unemployment expected to show 3.5% for August. Both drop at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Put that up on the screen again. We put the expectations up on the screen as well. AVGO Broadcom falling down. SPY doing pretty well. Again, did you guys remember what number I called the market at yesterday? Whew, dude, I was spot on with that prediction yesterday, dude. I'm making a short about it now. But just to put this into perspective, okay, if you guys want to actually see this, so like, look, I recorded a clip of it. Okay, check this out. So y'all should be able to hear this. Let me know if you can. All right. Like, watch this. So again, you should be able to hear this. Let me make sure. But like, look. Pullback day today. I'm going to guess we're going to close on the SPY at around 450 and a half. 450 and a half is my guess. Biased in their favor. But if you want to check them out, here is the link. Great way to help support the channel. Watch this prediction I made yesterday. Where do we close today, guys? Give me your number. Where do we close today on the SPY? Give me your area. No, it doesn't have to be exact. I think we have a neutral / small pullback day today. I'm going to guess we're going to close on the SPY at around 450 and a half. 450 and a half is my 450 and a half was my guess yesterday. I thought it would be a small pullback day. I thought we would close at 450 and a half just to show you where the SPY closed yesterday. We closed yesterday on the SPY at 450 and a half. Hey, listen. I'm just tuned in here. That's all I'm saying. Just tuned in. 450 and a half is what we called. And that's exactly where we closed. Look, just to put this into perspective, 450 and a half is right where we closed yesterday. Literally right on that spot, man. Hey. We'll see what we get today. I don't know. Yesterday was less of a volatile day, and so it's actually much harder to make predictions when the day before is less volatile. If the day prior, like say we run up really big, the way I made that prediction is like say we run up really big. If we run up really big, then the most likely outcome in that situation is like a small pullback as correction. Like we're up a lot, we need to correct a little bit from that, and we're going to pull back in a small amount. That's ultimately why I made that prediction. That's why we said 450 and a half, and that's exactly where we closed. Again, 450 and a half right here. That's exactly where we closed, right around it. It's within a 10 or 15 cent margin of where we closed. So hey, you love to see it. I have no idea what gold's going to do. Gold is harder to predict as well. Gold pretty close to 2,000. Walmart pay a dividend? Let me see. Do. Okay, so my Walmart divvy pays out on the 5th. $4.50.5, man. I gotta just tune my own horn a little bit because we were absolutely right about that. And again, here's $4.50.5 right here, so we closed exactly at the spot. We got exactly what I said too. Look, a small pullback day, not a big red day, but just a small little dip day, small pullback day. The only reason I remember this, I forgot about this completely, is that somebody said, "Bro, where did you say the SPY was gonna close at?" I just wanted to tell you, you weren't off by much, basically. So hey, we'd love to see it. I don't understand that when the economy is going down, shares go up. Yeah, but using shares going up as a signal of the economy dropping, or using the economy dropping as a reason to buy shares, isn't the most reasonable thing, and I'll explain why. Is because the normal state of the S&P 500, right? Like the normal state of the market is up, right? So like the market's going to move up long term, regardless of short-term price fluctuations. It's going to move up long term. And that doesn't always signal that the economy is slowing down, because what that would mean is that the economy is in an ever long state of slowing down, because the market is, if you zoom out, in an ever long state of going up as time goes on and on and on. Now we might have crashes in between there, we might have pullbacks, we might have corrections, might have red action, but like, yeah. All right, so Adam Aaron finally broke his silence. And it has to do with the Taylor Swift concert. It's funny watching people argue with other AMC traders on X. Some guy says, talking about AMC, and again, I'm just kind of watching in the corner, right? It said, yeah, it was such a good investment that I had to say I am down over 90% of my great investment, and I am so proud to say I didn't sell when I was up 300%. Yeah, I passed on a $200,000 profit. This is something I would love to tell the world, that I got sucked into a scam and lost, end quote. Some dude on Twitter. He also said, this is nice, but it's playing in every theater chain, not just AMC. Let's get the real question. When will my stock get me back to break even? By the way, it's at 160 a share, and thanks for the 1,200 back. And Ape took a $6,000 loss. Nice of you. Thanks. People say you probably aren't even a shareholder, you blue check mark liar. Like, dude, I'm really tempted to respond why, because what he said is so unbelievable, right? But I won't. So looking at the new Model 3. Alright, so Tesla has officially introduced the all-new Model 3, the first major refresh in 6 years. Where's Tesla at today? Let's see. It's still at the same spot. Pretty much flat day. Yeah. I mean, Lulu's been roughly the same price, though, for the last, like, even at this current price. Been roughly the same since March, February. Hasn't really done much since then. Yeah, ADTX. I don't know anything about this one. Looks strange, though. Went all the way from $7 all the way to $84 a share. Back down to 28.5. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, so it's actually a pretty big day, man. Again, we got payroll numbers. We got unemployment numbers dropping in like an hour and a half. Let's put this up. So, yeah, we got like an hour. Yeah. So here's the timer for unemployment and non-farm payroll data. It's a pretty big day. I mean, we got a lot of stuff dropping. AMC it tried to make a comeback. It didn't really do much. Here's Tesla. Tesla not really doing much either. Again, as my prediction stated, it was a pretty flat day. Payroll numbers, Quantum. They're just kind of as the name suggests. Tesla bouncing at VWAP here. Do you want to know why that stock ran, though? Totally ignoring 600% runners. It's not that I ignore them. It's that it's like the reality of it is like new traders and gamblers get wrapped up in following these big moves, but like just like you could make 600%, you could also lose 600%. And you could lose very big percentages very quickly, and the edge that you usually have looking at something like this is typically pretty low, right? So it's not like it's going to be easy to jump in and make money. Looking at the pattern in the stock, it looks incredibly difficult to capitalize on. You know, you had maybe an hour period like in power hour yesterday where it had big upward movements, but the liquidity looked weird. The move looked weird in general. So yeah, it moved up huge percentages. It also dropped like 70% after it did it. So it really is something that, like, you know, you got to just be careful trading it. Let's face it though, John, you're not a new trader. You can capitalize on it. I know I'm not a new trader, but I guess my point, man, is that experienced traders look for consistency. This isn't real consistency, you know? Like, sure, does it sound really fun? Yes. Does it seem like, you know, does it look like it's fun to gamble on? Sure. But what I'm saying is that one thing that is true of experienced traders is that they generally avoid sketchiness in stocks. They avoid things that can destroy. Like, listen, man, like my account's got like 60 grand in it, dude. Like, I don't want to lose that 60 grand gambling. Like, I don't need to try to double that 60 grand in one specific day. I don't need to risk a large, you know, part of my buying power. And this isn't, after a few minutes, this wasn't a cheap stock. So like ADTX here, look at Tesla rip. But like after a couple minutes, this was not cheap anymore. And so it just seems like an unnecessary gamble to try to play this just because it moved big percentages. You know, it just looks like unnecessary gamble. You know, and it's something in which, like, I think experienced traders learn to avoid this, unless they are selling courses, trying to talk a bunch of people into buying their course. You know, those are the type of people who will probably be most likely to target this, because if they can make money on it, they can then use that as like credibility to sell their course, right? But you don't know how much they're losing on it before they actually make money. And it's just something that, like, just for my own personal preference, I avoid crazy volatility like this. Like, sometimes crazy volatility is not necessarily like a good thing. A lot of the time it's just a trap. And, you know, while this one might have worked, there's also a very, you know, good chance that this thing's going to get halted. And this was getting halted numerous times, you know. And so what's there to say, hey, you buy in it before it gets halted, and then it gaps down 60% and you lose 60% of everything you put into it? That just seems kind of like a risky bet. And I think experienced traders recognize that risk and avoid it. And new traders who are also gambling, you know, can't help themselves, and it just makes their heart beat too fast and they just want to gamble on it, you know. Or if they weren't doing that, they'd throw it on red and roulette, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I think you got to just learn to avoid this type of stuff. Tesla rip it up. Let me see if I can find the reason for it. But yeah, Tesla's up. All right, so yeah, Tesla mostly just up on the Model 3. Right, exactly. MIR, like the big again, an overarching point of this is like, follow what big money does if you want to see what actually works, right? Follow what big money does. You want to know what big money doesn't do? They don't target stuff like this, you know. What big money doesn't do, even though they might try to make you think that they're big money, like the people selling penny stock courses on how to get rich trading penny stocks or investing in penny stocks or whatever it is, right? They make you think they're big money, but most of the time they're not. If you want to see what real big money does, look at the firms. You know, look at the hedge funds in the world. Look at the banks. Look at the politicians, right? That's big money. That's who you want to follow. And again, very rarely are they ever trading something like that. The risk is too profound. You know, yeah, you can get rich and gamble away and double your account. You could also lose your whole account in one trade. So it's just not worth it. Neo, what happened to Neo? Neo at 1045. Tesla looking good though here, guys. Look at Tesla. I wonder if this is going to drag the Q up. Here's the Q at 378. Battery news and lower cost, full self-driving on Tesla. Yeah. What's up, Ninja? All right, so here apparently, according to the Sawyer guy, is the new Model 3. It looks the same to me though. So what's different about it? Yeah, it looks the same to me. Range increased 12%. Changed 50% of the parts in the car. Also releasing 2 new colors, Ultra Red and Stealth Gray. There's now ambient LED lighting in the interior. It looks like a spaceship. A lot of new cars have that though. Like the new SUV we bought has different color schemes where we can put like LED lights up in the car. It looks cool. We can make it like purple or blue. It's actually really cool. So Tesla's a little late on that though. Brand new steering wheel. The center console has been redesigned. Tesla now uses real metal when you touch, giving a more premium feel. The materials inside the cars in general have been improved. Tesla achieved 30% decrease in wind and noise, 25% improvement in impact noise, and 20% improvement in road noise. It added acoustic glass to the rear windows. There's more sound insulation. There's an uptick in the hood to let the wind go over. It upgraded the suspension, new springs and dampers, changed the geometry of the front suspension, and changed the way the mount from the subframe to the chassis. Tires are also more cushioning. Main screen is now brighter and more responsive. Rear seats have their own screen, just like the Model S. Their front and rear seats are more comfortable. The front seats finally have the ventilation feature. All seats are perforated. The new Model 3 is 8% more efficient because it's now the most aerodynamic Tesla. The drag coefficient is 0.219 CD. It goes on sale in October. Interesting. You guys think it'll do well? So look at the previous closing price number here on Tesla. So here's Tesla. There's the previous closing price. We're pulling back right to that spot now. Let me know what you guys think of this. Yeah, but I mean, NASCAR, again, you know, what you're missing there is that they're a YouTube channel as well, right? So, like, they are going to, number one, most of the time you're not going to see their actual positions. And no offense, I actually like them, right? I actually like them. Number one, most of the time you don't see their actual positions. If it's the same, yeah. So most of the time you don't see their actual positions, right? As well as they're YouTubers. So like their job is to bring excitement. You know what I mean? And so you're going to see a lot of influencers trading stuff like this, but it doesn't mean it's the best move for actual traders. You know? What's up, Camp? Yeah, the daily chart on Tesla, it's been on a big run back here. Again, we're up to 260s. I mean, it's all right on the daily chart. Again, did you guys see my prediction here? Hey, I'm going to put this up again. Y'all will never hear the end of it. Look at this. You want to see this? Look at this. I'm going to show this over and over again. All right, check this out. All right, ready? Look at this. Ready? Guys, where do we close today, guys? Give me your number. Where do we close today on the SPY? Give me your area. No, we don't. It doesn't have to be exact. I think we have a neutral / small pullback day today. I'm going to guess we're going to close on the SPY at around 450 and a half. 450 and a half is my guess. All right, so 450 and a half, small break even / losing day yesterday on the SPY. Right? Did you guys see where we closed yesterday? Did you see what kind of day we got yesterday, guys? Look at this. Hey, when you're right, you're right. Okay. Small pullback day. We closed yesterday. Can anybody guess where we closed yesterday? We closed it right around 450 and a half. You know, again, to put this into perspective, 450 and a half is right here. That's where we freaking closed, bro. Honestly, when you know, you know. Shout out to me. I got that exactly right. Honestly, I was still pretty shocked. The only way I even knew I got this right was somebody in my comment section was like, bro, where did you say we would close yesterday? They were like, man, you got it right. And so, hey, when you're right, you're right. Again, 450 and a half is right there. And that's where we closed, at 450 and a half. You love to see it. Definitely top three. When you're top three, I mean, listen, stuff just comes out of me like water here, you know. All right, so Tesla over the previous closing price, technically green on the day. Will it bounce now is the other real question. I don't know. All right. Anything else we got coming out here? I'm looking at the Fed calendar. It is now September here, team. Now September. Remember, Monday is Labor Day. Bar. All right, September 20th. We got the FOMC. Does Jerome Powell speak again anytime soon here? I don't think so. When's the next Jerome Powell meeting? Oh, another big stream that we usually get is what's Tesla AI Day? All right, so what is Tesla AI Day 2023? Are they going to do one this year? It's September 30th. Okay, dope, dude. All right, cool. September 30th. All right, cool. So in a month from now. All right, so that's a pretty big event. We'll definitely cover. Lottery numbers next, please. Honestly, I really don't know how I got that right. I mean, I told people earlier in the stream why I made that prediction. Look at that bounce right at the previous closing price. But I told people earlier. One thing, but I told people earlier this, right? The reason I was able to get this prediction on the SPY, right? The reason I was able to get this prediction, I'll tell you what my logic of it was, right? Number one, I got lucky, okay? But number two, the reason I got this right is because a lot of the time after big days in one specific direction, you have small days in the opposite direction the following day, right? And so the day before, we had a pretty big green day. In fact, we had a couple pretty big green days leading into yesterday, right? So again, you can see the 29th, crazy big green day. You can see the 30th, pretty decent green day. And so when yesterday rolled around, the logic at the time was like, okay, well, the last couple days we've pushed up a lot. I think this is a strong enough move where we're not going to give too much back short term, because the market's already done that a lot. And I think the market tries to be contrarian sometimes. But point is, we pushed up big for a few days in a row prior to that. And so in that regard, the logic of that prediction of 450 and a half was that, okay, we pushed up big the last couple of days. I think we're going to have a tiny correction today. I don't think we're going to give too much back, because I think the market wants to hold, but I think we're going to have a small pullback / break-even pullback day. And so that's where I had the 450 and a half number. And again, we were exactly right. You do get to be in a kind of a flow state of the market, where like if you watch the market enough, you kind of understand what the market may do. It's never perfect. It's never 100%. It's never super accurate, but it certainly can be. It certainly can be right. When's the next Apple event? All right, so it's the September 15th or September 12th launch event. So it's the Apple Wanderlust event, September 12th. We'll probably cover that too. We cover Tesla stuff a lot. It's going to be September 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific. So what date? All right, the 12th is Tuesday. That's actually the day before CPI. What time does it say? Did it say 10 a.m. Pacific time? Yeah. Bro, Pacific time just throws me off, dude. All right, so that's noon, Friday. That's noon on the 12th. Yeah, it's Friday. Well, when is the Cybertruck event? In the third quarter of 23, which is now. He didn't actually say when the event's going to be, but yeah, look at the SPY rip up, Tesla up a lot. And another one to look at is Nvidia. Again, Nvidia has been definitely weighing on the market. You can see Nvidia back up to 495. It's been just kind of testing that $500 level for Nvidia. It's just kind of been testing that spot here. So again, 495, right under 495 here on Nvidia. And again, this will move markets a lot. So this moves markets heavily. So it's certainly something you want to watch, pay attention to if you can. Yeah, I mean, I really wish I could go back in time and buy VFS put options like I wanted to. What's up, Raphael? Got new stats about sentiment, a bit more bears than bulls. Retail expecting a rip on payrolls. More bears means probably can't crash now. Also, retail usually wrong, so hard to say. Yeah, I mean, it's Friday as well. That kind of throws a question mark in there in terms of like what we're going to get today. I don't know. The 19th of every month is bearish for 50 years. Market closed Monday for Labor Day. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to enjoy the day off, to be honest. All right, team. Today, payroll numbers and unemployment data. Big release, big day. I think we got about an hour left. Again, unemployment numbers expected at 3.5%, which is pretty much on par with what we've been showing. Obviously, unemployment measures the percentage of workforce that's not working. Non-farm payroll is expected at 170K. Last time we showed 187K. We got private payrolls coming in at expectations of 150K. Government payrolls expected at minus 2,000. We also have ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 today, so it's actually a pretty busy day, bro. I don't know why they threw all this stuff like together same day, but it's actually a pretty busy day. Hey, also, y'all hit that like button. Let me do a poll number here. I don't think I did a poll yet today, but it's actually a pretty busy. So let me do a poll here. I don't think we've done one yet. So the poll is going to be today's job numbers help or hurt the market. Help, or we'll just do, are you bearish or bullish on today's job numbers? All right, so bear, bull, or bear? So there's that poll. We might buy the SPY dip right here a little bit, honestly. So I might buy the SPY dip a little bit right here. We'll see if we can. So we bought the little dip in the NASDAQ here. See if we can scalp a little gain on a bounce. This is our express funded account. So if we can make a couple bucks, we're happy. Again, slightly green. I like this move. I think Tesla and a couple others look pretty strong. Up 20. 25. I'll just go ahead and lock that in. Again, this is my express account, so we're just kind of building up a little bit more profit while we can. I like the dip. I didn't quite get in the number. Start of the month and Friday, tricky to trade. Good luck. Yeah, you as well. What does September have in store in terms of data releases? September seems to be a bad month. Well, yeah, September is historically a red month. Not always, but it generally is. Yeah, they're at 8:30. Yeah, they'll impact the market, Raphael, if they come in like much better or worse than expected. Again, we got non-farm payroll data. Bearish historical inflection, but we'll watch the first 60 minutes. Yeah. So we got a little cushion. Tesla looks pretty good on a little dip buy as well. We're green on our stock trades also again today, man. Does Honeywell pay out a dividend? Oh, nice. And it pays a good dividend too. It pays a dollar plus. It pays it out today. Oh, nice, man. Hey, when do I get that divvy? I've never really been a dividend payment before. So like today's the payment date. I'm pretty sure I'm holding Honeywell. Okay, yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're holding this for sure. Yeah, Honeywell's got a good PE ratio, a $4 annual divvy. And so but then just $4 is like 2% right now. So it's not bad. A 2% dividend. When do I get that money in my account, though? But yeah, there's the SPY. We bought that dip. We'll see if we get something else coming out. Well, history is a good indicator. You know, Mark Twain famously said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes, you know? So like, can you base everything off of historicals? No, you can use it to find probabilities to a certain, like up to a certain extent though, you know? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I was holding it before that. So yeah, I'll get this dividend for sure. Nvidia's still looking good, man. Honestly, crazy how good Nvidia has been. Snapchat, Target. Okay. We got. Okay, nice cow. Yeah. I'm a beginner trading on Robinhood. I'm trying to understand overnight trading. The volume is in the thousands instead of millions of shares, but can affect the price of the stock so drastically. So you're probably not you're not talking about overnight FC, I'm assuming. You're probably talking about extended hours trading, right? So there's three natural states of the stock market, brother. And so try to listen to what I'm about to say. Hopefully it'll make sense. All right, there's three natural states of the stock market. Okay, there is market closed, which is overnight, right? It's nothing's open except for I think the SPY might be open, like the S&P might be open overnight, but like most regular stocks are not open overnight. Then you have what's referred to as extended hours trading, right? Extended hours trading. That means, depending on which broker you're using, most of the time they start at 4 a.m. and it goes from 4 a.m. to the opening bell at 9:30. So from 4 a.m. to 9:30 is what's called pre-market. So the market's open, but you can only use limit orders, thus hurting volatility, hurting algorithm trades. You can only use limit orders. And a lot of the time companies use this pre-market session. It's what you can see is outlined in gray on my chart, right? This gray area is pre-market and extended hours, right? So you can only use limit orders. And a lot of the time companies drop catalysts, they drop news, they drop earnings in extended hours. The other part of extended hours is after hours, right? So from 9:30 to 4 is main market hours, is market hours. The market is open where you can use any type of order from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. is extended hours as well, but it's called after hours. So pre-market and after hours are extended hours trading in which you can only use limit orders. From 9:30 to 4 is market hours. That's when the market is open fully. You can use whatever kind of orders you want. Again, in extended hours, you can only use limit orders. And a lot of the time companies use that to report earnings, to drop catalysts, to do all this different stuff. And then aside from that, the market's just closed outside of those hours. Like outside of extended hours and market hours, the market's just closed. Hope that makes sense. Do you think the dollar index will see some gains after today's news? Well, that would signal the market dropping. So like the dollar index goes up, the market will probably go down. So in order for the dollar index to go up, the market has to drop, most likely at least. Yo, give me a follow on TT at beginner trading. One word, beginner trading on TT. Trying to grow that there if you have one. We post some pretty good shorts, like some pretty fun shorts there. So check it out. All right, so again, we got a little dip in the SPY. I'm looking at some other news today. I don't think we had any other big earnings. No, nothing really big for earnings yesterday. Today. The talk, Brian, the talk. An interesting thing is that Tesla's kind of consolidating right over this previous closing price. So like we're right over it right now. Part of me is tempted to buy, but again, we're pretty flat ahead of these payroll numbers. We got exactly an hour until these numbers drop. And again, we got unemployment and non-farm payrolls. So let me see something here. All right, so yeah, non-farm payroll data. All right, guys. So again, I'm tempted to buy Tesla here, and I think I might buy a piece of this. Again, it's pre-market. Oh, we got 25 shares. I like it. I like the flag pattern over the previous closing price. And so we're gonna take a small little dip by there and see if we get a little pop or bounce. If not, it's not the end of the world. I trade gold exclusively. The market has manipulated my mind now. Even if the Dixie sees some gains, I don't know how gold will react. Well, gold's not the biggest, gold's not the easiest thing to trade, in my opinion. You know, especially on a short-term basis, very choppy, very neutral, very sideways. Patterns don't fulfill super easily. And so, in my opinion, gold's not the easiest thing to trade. Two of JP Morgan's top metal traders were sentenced for manipulation of the silver markets. Should we use micro fundamentals for crypto day trade? I mean, that's on you. I don't know. No, I don't have the most experience in day trading crypto. All right, so again, this will be relevant for rate hikes today too, man. Do you know why Walgreens is falling? Not seeing any news. I think CVS was weak. And I think pharmacy stocks in general are pretty weak. Yeah, I see Walgreens dipping down. Okay, so yeah, there is some news here. So Walgreens CEO Rosalind Brewer steps down. Ginger Graham is appointed the new interim CEO with search process to identify a permanent CEO underway. They cut their fiscal year 23 adjusted EPS as well to compensate to the low end of $4.05 range. We'll put that news up in chat. Is Bitcoin down? Yeah, Bitcoin all the way back down to 26K. Yeah, so a lot of Tesla's up mostly on the all-new Model 3. All right, so McConnell was medically cleared to continue to work in the U.S. I mean, listen. Listen, I'm not really a super political dude. All right, but I think both sides can overwhelmingly agree it's time for my guy to step down here, right? Like, listen, if you're freezing up at press conferences over and over again, it's not a good look, dude. Just step down, bro. It's all good, you know? I don't really like Mitch McConnell, to be honest. He's one of the reasons cannabis has stayed illegal, you know? And I disagree with a lot of others' decisions. I think because of... I'll hold my tongue. But yeah, not really a big fan of his. I think it's time for him to step down, even if I was a fan of his time. I don't know what he's still doing, you know? Is this really who we want making our decisions? You know? Wait, so my Forex fund was frozen? Yeah. Yeah, but I think the Forex thing is different, and I'll explain why, right? The reason Forex is different than, like, Top Step, for instance, is that Forex, a lot of times, like, trading Forex is a much more regulated thing than trading futures. It just is. It's much more regulated than trading futures, right? And so, in that regard, like, most futures trading is allowed in the United States, right? So most futures trading is allowed here in the U.S. With that, it's important to understand that, like, Forex is much different than futures, because a lot of Forex trading is not allowed here in the US. And if you want to day trade Forex in the US, especially on certain platforms, you have to use like VPNs and all this other stuff to get around it, right? So it's not the same thing. It might be bad for other Forex prop firms, you know, but I don't think it's bad necessarily for like Top Step. Yeah, gold. Yeah, I feel for him. What, Martin? What are you talking about, man? For free? Not that I know of. I mean, they're definitely not funding me for free. I had to pass my test myself, dude. They're not just gonna give me funding, man. You know? I guess my 20,000 Q puts expired today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Gold related to the non-farm payrolls? I don't know, man. I don't know how gold moves with NFP. All right, so again, we're in Tesla right now. Pretty flat, pretty neutral range here. I do like the flag pattern here on Tesla, though. The flag pattern looks good. The SPY actually bouncing up some more here. We're at 452.20s. Again, the SPY bouncing right off that 452 VWAP level. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at more news. All right, so we're green on Tesla here, still moving up some. All right, so we're green and Tesla still heading up. Small green though. We're in 25 shares. I'd love to see it bounce a little bit more. I think it could possibly break 259s here. We still got 45 minutes or so before the non-farm payrolls and unemployment data drops. All right, team. Still heading up a little bit. We're green in Tesla here. SPY up to 452s. Again, non-farm payrolls expected at 170K. 170K. Unemployment expected at 3.5%. You can see all this stuff scrolling at the bottom of the screen. All right, so according to Matt L., the CEO of My Funded FX, a law firm that is heavily involved in financial services regulation, has assured us that there is no known regulation coming down the pipeline earlier this week. What is happening at MFF is nothing to be alarmed about, and I'm sure the issues will be resolved in a timely manner. All right. Yeah, I'm looking up the rest of this stuff too, but I think everything's fine. So Tesla pulling back a little bit. Again, we're not up enough for me to take profits here yet. Still kind of sitting tight. Hey, what's up, David? Hope you're doing good, bro. Yeah, I've been doing jujitsu lately, David, bro. Oh, bro, what a workout, man. It's fun, though. I've been rolling with some, like, blue and purple belts, and they've been beating me up, dude. Honestly, my arms are sore, but I hope you're good, brother. Yeah, maybe NVIDIA can hit $500. I think it's possible. If NVIDIA might, NVIDIA could hit 500. If numbers are good, we definitely hit 500. Yeah, we've been kind of consolidating around those levels for a minute. Yesterday, a lot of people thought we might break 500 on NVIDIA. If we look at NVIDIA right here on the left side, you know, a lot of people thought we might break 500 yesterday, and we just didn't. We consolidated around it, though. So, will NVIDIA break $500 today? Here, let me look at our poll numbers here as well. 59% bullish, 41% bearish. $498s. We're pretty close. I mean, again, we're right at 495s right now. 495s even. Look, you can see 495s right here for NVIDIA. It's a big level to watch. All right, and Tesla, again, I'm not going to move Tesla yet. We still got like 45 minutes or so until these numbers drop, really. So we still got some time. All right, Tesla's still sitting here. Again, we still got some time. Again, NVIDIA almost tapping 496, and you can see yesterday during the day, NVIDIA got up to right around over 497. And again, a lot of people thought we might break 500 yesterday, but it was a small kind of flat day, small neutral day. Why trade a stock if you can trade an option instead? I mean, that's a pretty silly question. I mean, I think the answer is very obvious there, Steve. And I mean, I can answer it, but I don't think it needs to be answered. I think the answer is very obvious, which is that shares have no restrictions on when you can hold them, how long you can hold them, anything like that. Options, you can only make money within a certain specified period of time. The Greeks have to be right in order for it to be profitable. There's just there's so many more conditions that need to be there in order for you to profit from an options trade versus a share trade. You know, like flexibility is what shares give you. And so you can hold a shares as long as you want. You don't have time decay. You don't have Greeks. You don't have all these different things. Like, you can buy it and sit on it if you want. And I mean, I think that answer is pretty obvious. You can day trade in pre-market. You can get in and out in extended hours. A lot of people don't understand one of the biggest risks for options is simply that you can't sell it in pre-market. So like, a lot of people play options on earnings, and like the company will report earnings. They'll buy an option the day before, and then the company will report earnings. And then they're basically stuck. They can't get out of it. They can't sell it. They've got to just sit in it for, another day or two, another half a day just to get out. And so obviously shares are going to be better if you have the buying power. Shares are better, less restrictive, more flexible than options. And I think that's a self-evident thing. Random question. I was just diagnosed with stage 4. What would you do in your last couple months? I'm 23. I mean, if that's true, Tatiana, I'm so sorry to hear that. Again, what I would do is not trade at all, not worry about trading. Trading's the last thing you want to worry about. If it was me, I'd probably find religion, try to find God of some, and spend time with family. That's the only thing you really got to do there. Enjoy life as much as you can. And, trading would be the last thing I'd be doing. Scalping is okay. I mean, none of them are better for scalping, though, Steve. You might get more buying power. You might get more bang for your buck with options, but it's still not going to be like shares are better in terms of less restriction, more flexible, pay dividends, like scalping maybe, but like even scalping, you're going to be more restricted. There's less liquidity in options, I think is the point, right? So like, I've tried scalping the SPY, scalping futures, and scalping options. Scalping options were the worst way to do it, in my opinion. But maybe I guess it's subjective. But like for me, I didn't like scalping options. That's all I noticed. There would be much more slippage in terms of fills, all that stuff. And so like, people that really push options are usually people who have smaller accounts, because you can get more bang for your buck with options and small accounts. But if you have a large enough account to where you can buy as many shares as you really need, then options are completely worthless and ultimately just make you have more restrictive trades where, time decay and the Greeks can't, if the Greeks are wrong, you're not going to profit. If time decay gets you, you're not going to profit. There's just so many conditions and options that have to be there versus shares, which are just, and so again, most of the people that really like options are people with smaller accounts, because you can buy one option and have, make big gains from it or lose big from it as well. But yeah. And again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. For clarity, having a high unemployment rate, say higher than 3.5, is a good thing, right? In terms of lowering inflation? Not necessarily. It's much more nuanced than saying good or bad, Jay. So like, it could be anything. We don't know how the market reacts. Like lately, the market's been liking less economic growth, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's what we're going to get today. It could happen like that, where we get higher unemployment and the market moves up. It's possible. But with payrolls dropping at the same time, with manufacturing PMI dropping later on today as well, it certainly varies, On a statistical basis, the option seller wins 70% of the time. Well, sure, but the option seller is the key word there. Like, the problem with selling options and the risk for selling options is very, very simple, right? The risk of selling options is profound, because again, what happens with people selling options is like a large majority of people selling options make money, right? Most options actually expire worthless. And so if you're selling options, you'll make money most of the time. You'll make money most of the time. The problem there is when you lose money, a lot of the time, it takes away anything you made previously plus more. It's kind of like the martingale roulette strategy. I always talk about that, but it's kind of similar, where you'll make most options expire worthless. So if you're selling options, you'll make money most of the time, right? But that doesn't mean you're profitable, because you might make money, lose everything, and that's very common too, because the problem with selling options, say you're selling a call option, right? Say you're selling a call option. That stock can go up an infinite amount on you, right? So if you get unlucky and you get a crazy runner, that's going to take again, you could lose an infinite amount. It could keep going higher and higher and higher, and there's nothing you could do. You're stuck. You're going to have to keep paying that person. And so that's how accounts are destroyed. And so a lot of people, again, they sell options, they make money. They think they've got some crazy good system that just nobody else has figured out yet. They make money. Boom, they lose everything. Their whole account's destroyed. And that's very common. And so regardless of anything else, you got to understand selling options is super risky, especially if you're new to the market. Even if you're not new, it's still pretty risky. Tatiana, I appreciate you saying that, John. Love the channel. Keep going. I'm still going to support the channel, but I'm going to go live my life while I can trade and be done with trading. Yeah, I wouldn't trade at all, Tatiana. If it was me, again, all I can say is what's me. Like, trading's cool and all, but like, it's not the meaning of life, and spend time with family. That's what I would do. Again, if it happened to me, that would be the least important thing in my life. I probably would never trade again if that was the case. But I wish you the best. I hope everything turns out well. Wish you the best. So Vince, right? You sell a call option. If we're in that given period of time, and that call option, the stock, say it's Apple, right? So you sell a call option for Apple, right? And say Apple goes up 200-300%. Say it's a 6-month option, right? You can lose like an infinite amount of money within that period of time. That stock can go up an infinite amount. And the more it goes up, the more you're going to lose money, and you can't really stop it. Again, I know the stat where most option traders lose, or most people selling options have high accuracy, and I believe that. I believe that's true, because most options expire worthless. The problem is that, again, it'll be something where you sell option, you make money, you lose everything. One bad trade. Yeah. I'm not against options, man. Again, we can agree to disagree. It doesn't mean either of us are right. To be honest, both of these arguments are pretty subjective. But again, the argument against options being more restrictive on trading versus shares is just the truth. You got so many more conditions that have to be there for you to profit on options versus shares. You can hold shares an infinite amount of time if you want as well, and just sit on them until it comes back in the market. If it's a blue chip company, market's going to go up long term. That will eventually profit for you, most likely. Options are not that at all. Options are the opposite. Options, you have a very limited amount of time, depending on how long the option is, to profit from it. And so again, it's subjective, but what's not subjective is options are much more restrictive than shares, regardless of anything else, any other argument. I think that's just the truth. But again, it's all good. It's all love. We can agree to disagree. Yeah, selling puts is one thing. Yeah, I mean, that might make sense. But again, D, please don't spam and pressure people to do one specific thing, man. You'll get banned pretty quick here, brother. Again, I've had people pressuring me to sell for the last year. The market's ripped up 10%, 15% in that period of time. And so again, we can pressure everybody to sell, but Who knows? Nobody knows what the market's going to do. Was there a time in your trading when struggling, cut losses? Well, yeah, everybody struggles sometimes. It's just a conditioning thing. I'll probably cut Tesla here. This dip under the previous closing price is just too risky. It might bounce right here, but not worth the risk. But no. Yeah, I think he might be a bot, but it's hard to tell. But no, everybody struggles to cut losses sometimes. Again, it's conditioning through repetition. Trading, a lot of trading is conditioning through repetition. And so what I mean by that is like you get better by doing things over and over and over and over again, like Pavlov and the dogs, classical conditioning, like Pavlov, when, again, if you don't know the story of Pavlov, he was the father of classical conditioning. He did this experiment where he would feed these dogs, right? And every time he would feed the dogs, he would ring a bell. And so he'd feed the dogs, ring a bell, feed the dogs, ring a bell, feed the dogs, ring a bell, feed the dogs. And he was trying to see if he could condition the dogs to anticipate food, right? So he would ring the bell, feed the dogs, ring the bell, feed the dogs, ring the bell, feed the dogs, until where he took one of the stimuli out of the equation. He didn't give them food, but he just rang the bell. And so instead of ringing the bell and giving them food, he just rang the bell and didn't give them food, right? What he noticed is that the dog would drool, the dog would salivate. Even though there's no food present, the dog would still salivate. And so he had conditioned those dogs to salivate every time they heard the bell ring. With that in mind, trading is very much a game of conditioning, right? So again, it's one of the reasons I think selling new traders a course is probably not the best move, because it doesn't matter how good the course is. It doesn't matter how great the knowledge is in that course. Most people are going to need to condition themselves to do the right things, and that takes time. And that's one of the reasons trading takes so much time to master, is because you got to do it over and over and over and over again. You got to get your reps in, and you got to get that experience in to really master it. But it takes time. It's not something that you're just going to jump in and get rich like a lot of these courses push. Because again, it's just not like that. It just takes time. You got to condition yourself to do the correct things by doing it over and over and over and over again. And with cutting losses, it's the same thing. At first, in my opinion, you should be pretty quick to cut losses, right? If you want to get better at it, you should be pretty quick to cut losses, right? Even if it's too quick. And then over time, you can kind of adjust and tweak that a little bit. But when you start to do it over and over again, it'll become second nature, and you won't have to think about it as much. You won't have to worry about it as much, and you won't have to make the same mistakes that you do in the beginning. But again, it's a little different. Yeah, but Ben, here's the problem. Ben said, I lost my account 3 times in a month, a very considerable amount. I lost my mistake. My signals were 90% accurate, though. But the problem with that, though, again, is that a lot of people think that they have some crazy profitable system. It's hard to explain, but okay, think about it like this, right? So like try to really think about it like this. Okay, so a lot of people are desperate for validation, right? So they want to make big gains and show people on the internet. A lot of the gurus selling courses want to do the same thing. And like the martingale, you double your size until, you double your size until you win, right? So you bet $10, you lose. You bet $20, you lose. You bet $40, you lose. You bet $80, you lose. You bet $160, you win, right? You win money. So by that logic, you're going to have to lose 6+ times in a row to actually lose. And for most people, they think, oh, well, that's never going to happen. That's not true at all. That does happen statistically. And when you lose, you're going to lose everything you made plus more. And so that's why it doesn't work, is because when you do lose, you're going to lose everything. In trading terms, it's the same way, where a lot of traders, they just double down their size. They just add to losses, add to losses, add to losses in day trading. In options, maybe they buy more options and average in. They buy more options and average in, and they do that until they win, right? And when they do that, if you keep adding to a stock, you'll make money a large majority of the time. Like if I buy NVIDIA on a pullback and I keep adding to it, eventually it's probably going to bounce and I'll make money from it. And that skews people's perspective of their own systems to where people doing exactly what I just said will make money 80-90% of the time, and they will think they've got some crazy profitable system that they're just going to ride off into the sunset and get rich with. The problem is that the check's going to come eventually, and eventually that stock is not going to bounce, and eventually it's just going to keep dropping, and you're going to destroy your entire account if you keep adding to it. And that is where a lot of traders get wrapped up. That's where a lot of people make the mistake of thinking they've got some crazy profitable system, right? Where it's like the system's not profitable, you're just adding to losses, and like eventually it's not going to bounce for you. And that's what happens to a lot of new traders, and they think they've got some crazy profitable system. A lot of them will take big gambles to make big percentages, and they'll make 10K in a week, and they'll start telling everybody, hey, yo, I'm making 10K a week in my trading, guys. I'm making 10K a week. Again, the problem, eventually the check's going to come and you're going to lose everything. It's fine to scale in, but you have to scale in within limits. NVIDIA bouncing right at the VWAP. Yeah, if you do that in penny stocks, you're definitely going to lose. Yeah, I mean, learning how to cut losses is key for sure. I'm telling this to people because like there's so much nonsense for new traders to grapple with when they first start, man. There's so much BS. There's so much freaking nonsense, dude. Like so many people are trying to push this nonsense of like, hey man, I can make 10% a day. My trading system's got 95% accuracy and a 4-to-1 reward to risk ratio. And it's like, bro, no trading system has that. Like if you think a trading system genuinely has like a 4-to-1 reward to risk and a 90% accuracy, you have no idea what you're talking about. They play off of each other, so like the bigger your reward to risk ratio, like the better your reward to risk ratio, the lower your accuracy is going to be. The higher your accuracy is going to be, the worse your reward to risk ratio is going to be. You can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You're going to have pick one. My system usually involves more so of a high accuracy break even reward to risk ratio. So like my reward to risk ratio is like a 1-to-1 ratio. But it's relatively accurate. And so you got to figure out which one you are, and that it depends on which kind of system you have. Longer term trades are usually going to be better reward to risk trades, although smaller accuracy trades. Shorter term trade systems are usually going to be higher accuracy, but kind of worse reward to risk, if that makes sense. And again, you got to just figure out which one you are. Yeah. There was some fun, man, in that crypto wave 2020. So what's the proper way to trade? There's no proper way. It's all subjective. We can all have different systems. The proper way to trade is to cut losses and to understand which one you are and not just keep adding to positions, which is what a lot of people do. Again, it's very similar to the option selling thing where like a lot of people are just selling options. Of course, you're going to have high accuracy because most options expire worthless. But again, if you get stuck in that one bad option trade that in an option you sold, you can lose, everything you made plus more in one trade. And so that's the problem, is that like, I guess the easiest way to put it is that option selling is a very high accuracy, bad reward to risk system, and the margin is very thin in terms of profit versus losses. And so, yeah, profit taking is good. In investing, it depends on what kind of trading it is. In investing, it really is something where your entry matters less than your exit. And so the reason most people choose money managers is because they don't have the discipline to not sell. They don't have the discipline to not take profit, to not cover. The real edge is long term, but most people managing their own trading, their own investment accounts, don't have that discipline to not touch it. They can't watch it. They can't just sit on it. They end up having to mess with it or trade it or whatever, and that makes them lose edge. Could be a quiet day. I don't think it's going to be quiet. I think we got unemployment and payroll numbers dropping in 20 minutes. We also have manufacturing PMI data dropping at 10. And so we got a lot of economic stuff coming out today. Long weekend, though. NVIDIA at 494.50s. Well, yeah, these are important like ideas of trading, Yair, and not a lot of other people are telling people these ideas. I know some people are just kind of like, I've heard some people tell the same things to their traders in their streams that I say, and they're just kind of copying off of me. But because I've been saying the same thing for years. But it's important concepts that traders need to understand. It really is. Like, this is important stuff. People got to hear it. You think we can break out to new highs? We could. I don't know if we will. What's the prediction for today's unemployment rate? I'm not sure. Again, I'm really not sure. It's awesome to listen to truth every now and then. Yeah. Well, you got just so much stuff and so much nonsense in trading. It's hard to figure out what's legit and what's not. All right, so again, I'm reading the Wall Street Journal. It says, quote, higher interest rates have squeezed banks and sidelined home and car buyers. American corporations and commercial real estate businesses are bracing for a wave of debt coming due in the drain of refinancing. And this is all quoting the Wall Street Journal. One group that is getting some relief is retirees on fixed incomes. Better returns on saving accounts, CDs, and money markets and bonds give older Americans low-risk ways. Consumers boosted spending in July. Price pressures remain modest, keeping the Fed on track to hold interest rates steady this month and not raise rates. And again, I think it's very likely that we're not going to raise rates this next cycle. I don't think we're going to raise rates. Hey, bud. How you doing today, man?
Good.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
You feeling okay today, dude?
Mhm.
All right, bud. Love you, man. In U.S. trading Thursday, the Dow Industrial fell 0.5%, S&P 0.2%. And we called this dip, too. We did call this dip. Love you.
Love you.
Have a good day at school. All right. And so yeah, it's my son. Yeah. Yeah, we try. Tesla under the previous closing price, though. Again, we got about 17 minutes before this payroll data and unemployment numbers come out. We'll see if we get anything good today. I'm hoping we do. Again, what do we have next week going on? I know we have some earnings next week that I can cover. That'll be fun, specifically GameStop and C3 AI earnings. Aside from that, I think it's actually pretty quiet. Like, I don't think we have any big economic data next week. Yeah, we got S&P service and non-manufacturing PMI data Wednesday. Wednesday's a pretty busy day. Thursday, we got jobless claims, non-farm productivity. Yeah, next week's very slow. We don't really have anything coming up. We got wholesale inventory, some other stuff, but like very slow week next week. The week afterward, I think, is pretty busy, but next week's kind of quiet. All right, so yeah, the week afterwards, we got CPI, we got PPI, retail sales, Friday, New York State Manufacturing Index. Yeah, so next week's slow. The week after that's busy. Although we got some stuff less next week, specifically in regards to earnings. So like next week, let me see what we got for earnings. I know we got a couple big earnings releases. Monday, nothing. TCOM Tuesday. Wednesday morning, nothing. GitLab. All right, we got Express in the morning, Barnes & Noble. GameStop Thursday or Wednesday. But I think that's it. All right, guys. Hey, we got 15 minutes. 15 minutes before the market drops this big data today. Should influence the market pretty decent. It's a relatively decent report. It's not small. Yeah, Disney looking weak. I wish Disney paid a divvy. I mean, I hold it long term, but you know. Microsoft's still doing good, man. Nvidia, whew, still pumping up. Snapchat actually doing great, man. Tyson Foods, Walgreens, Walmart. Yeah, I'm waiting for Honeywell to pay me out my divvy. Yeah, I remember that when they paid out a dividend. What are the odds that GameStop rockets? Ooh, I don't know. Again, look at the spot, or look at NVIDIA bounce. This might drag everything else up. I'm going to put the Q up on the right side here. We'll see what AMC does today, too. Here's AMC. AMC had a big green day yesterday. Now it's kind of, slightly green and pre. Again, here's the NASDAQ. See if the NASDAQ follows it up. It's been pretty flat ahead of this economic report. So we also have manufacturing PMI data later on today as well. So like today we also have... we got manufacturing PMI data coming out. Non-farm payrolls. Unemployment. And then later on today at 10, we got ISM manufacturing PMI. Pretty big release. Again, we're at 494.50s here on NVIDIA. Q pull it back here, although we do see a little trend, although the trend is choppy. Like if we look at the trend here, I think that's the trend. But it doesn't look good necessarily. It looks pretty flat and sideways. So unless you're going to short the top by the bottom or whatever, sell the top by the bottom, I just don't like it. LSU. Yeah, I think LSU with the new QB from last year is going to be good this year. At least I hope they are. It's going to be Saturday or Sunday, I mean. Yes, we got college football starting. I'm ready. I hope LSU does this. It's going to be a great game, man. Honestly, LSU's number 5, Florida State's number 8. Although it's still preseason right now. I'm ready. LSU always has the worst freaking schedule out of everybody, bro. They don't want us to win. All right, guys. Hey, we got 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Tesla at 257.80s.
Hey, Oklahoma. Hey, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't know why it forces me to play that dumb stuff. But yeah. All right, guys, we still got about 11 minutes. 11 minutes until this data comes out. Again, hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We got over 100 likes. Thank you so much. Got about 700 people here. Still got a couple minutes before the report drops. Are y'all hyped about the new Tesla Model 3, or do y'all think it's underwhelming? All right, guys, we're at 494.60s right now. The Q just broke under the VWAP here. Tesla under the VWAP, under the previous closing price. Or Tesla over VWAP, under the previous closing price, though. The first ETH smartphones with ETH OS sell out within 24 hours. All right, guys. It should cost $1,000 extra to bring a little kid on a flight. Honestly, dude, bringing a kid on a flight is so stressful. It depends on the kid, though. Like, bro, we give my son like a iPad. He's quiet and chill the whole flight. All right, guys. Hey, we got about 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Non-farm payroll data expected to show today at 170,000. Again, last non-farm payroll came in at 187K. 187K for the last one. Expected to show up at 170K this time. We also have government payrolls expected at minus 2,000. So they're projecting a loss of 2,000 jobs in government payrolls specifically. We've got unemployment expected at 3.5%. It's basically been at that rate for a couple months now, a while now. And again, we also have private payrolls expected at 150,000. And so that's what we get right now. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. It should be, we should get some volatility from this, I think. I don't know how much volatility we're going to get, but we should get some. And yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Disney falling down. All right, guys, we still got about 7 minutes here. About 7 minutes. Let me see if I can find the reason Disney dropping. So Walt Disney is in talks with Charter Communications Spectrum cable service over a carriage deal renewal. So yeah, Charter Communications on the status of the distribution deal. They said Disney declined company's proposal, pulled its video channels from Charter's video customers on August 31st. Yeah, but I think you got to understand the future of Disney here, right? Like you got to understand what Disney's vision into the future is, and it's not going to be cable companies, right? Like Disney is going to evolve past a TV channel, and they're going to go pure streaming streaming application, right? They're going to go Disney Plus. That's where you're going to get all the Disney stuff, everything you want. It's not going to be a TV channel because TV channels are going away as well, right? TV channels in general are not like nobody uses. I'll put it this way. Anybody under 30 does not watch TV channels, and as time goes on, that margin is going to be greater and greater and greater and greater. And so again, most of these people, like me included, I haven't used an actual TV channel in years. I mostly use streaming apps, which is the future of media. It's the future of digestion of media. And again, that's what you got to understand. So I think that's what this is about. I don't think Disney needs this deal with Charter. Question. Yeah, no, I saw it, but I think there's a little bit different. If something was wrong with the other ones, then they would have frozen all the other ones to one time. So I think it just had something specifically wrong with MFF, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, 61% of the poll are bullish. Or are they? Let me see. Yeah, 60% are bullish, 40% are bearish. Out of about 600 votes. So mostly bullish today. Again, the Q bounced it over the VWAP. Here's NVIDIA right there. NVIDIA up to 495, 494.70s. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. All right, guys. Yeah, or maybe they are selling Disney Plus. And again, I could be wrong here. I'm going to focus. Maybe y'all are right. I don't know. I'll have to look more up on that. Again, Q up to 379s, roughly 379s. Right over the VWAP here. We got about 3 minutes here, guys. A little bit over that, 3.5 minutes. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We got about 900 people here. We got more than 8 likes, Eric. You probably got to refresh, bro. What's your view? What's your view? I don't know what this is going to give us. I really have no idea. I'm more of a reactionary person. Like, I wait for the market to show these numbers and then I react to them instead of trying to predict them, because predicting them is going to be a losing endeavor. Oh, sorry, Paul. I haven't even opened up my Discord yet, brother. Here, let me pull it up. All right, guys. We're going to put the SPY and the Q up. There's a video on the left here. Again, here's the SPY at 450s. Again, here's the Q at 379 or so. All right, guys, here we go. We got a minute and a half left, or we got about 2.5 minutes, actually. All right. No, so I'm only going to put these charts up. I'll talk about the Dixie, but we got the SPY on the left, the S&P on the left, and the Q, NASDAQ on the right. Q at 379, SPY at 452s, right over the volume-weighted average price. Again, the expected number is right here below me. You can see unemployment expected at 3.5%. Payrolls are expected at 170K for non-farm. Both drop at 8:30 right here. Subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, we are going to throw this thing in sub-only mode. So if you have not already, subscribe. You know you want to. Try one time. It might feel good. Everybody announce yourself. Show us you're subscribed. Here we go. Yeah, we'll see. We got about a minute and a half left. Team, about a minute and a half left. All right, guys. Again, SPY dipping down under that VWAP level here. Again, you can see the Q giving us a small pullback ahead of these numbers here. And again, we got exactly 1 minute left. You want to make sure you hit the live button next to the play button to make sure you're fully caught up on stream. Again, you want your live button to look like this to make sure you're actually fully caught up. Again, you want your live button to look red. If it's gray, it's delayed. Hit the live button. You should catch back up. Again, we got about 45 seconds. 45 seconds. You get about 45 seconds. 30 seconds now. Yeah, we do have ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 as well. Hey, shout out to everybody that subbed. We appreciate the love here, guys. 20 seconds. SPY rip it up ahead of this report. All right, here we go. Here's the report going live right now. All right, here we go. Here's the release, and it is live. Canadian GDP just came out. Big pop up in the Q, big pop up in the SPY. There's unemployment came in at 3.8%. Unemployment 3.8%. Non-farm payrolls at 187,000 versus 170K expected. Higher than expected unemployment rate, higher than expected payroll numbers. And the market initially, at least, is pushing up big. Again, higher than expected unemployment, higher than expected non-farm payrolls. Those numbers came in over expected numbers. Again, unemployment obviously signals less economic growth. Higher payroll numbers signals more economic growth. And again, the market's reacting positively to this report here, which is really interesting. Again, unemployment numbers came in at 3.8%, guys, 3.8%. Non-farm payrolls came in at 187,000. We will put these numbers up on screen. Private payrolls came in at 179K, way more than expected for private payrolls. Manufacturing payrolls came in at 16K. Private payrolls came in at 179K. And so, yeah, higher than expected on everything, including unemployment, including payroll numbers. Unemployment came in at 3.8%. Payroll numbers came in at 187,000. And so far, initially, at least, the market has reacted positively here. So there's the unemployment rates. And then we're going to put the numbers up on screen so you can see exactly what these mean. Again, payroll numbers came in at 187K. There's the numbers right there. And so, again, higher than expected for everything. And the market has liked this. The market has pushed up on this. Again, market's popping up a little bit. It's not a huge pop, especially on like the NASDAQ or the Q, but the S&P 500 is over 453s now. Here's the SPY. Let's look at like NVIDIA here. NVIDIA up to 496, getting close to that $500 level. Again, Tesla popping up to 259s. SPY just broke highs again. Q giving us a little dip. And again, anything can happen. This is not the biggest move, so we could, certainly pull back here if, anything can happen here, so just be careful. All right, so again, market is up so far on this data release. Again, market is up right now. Non-farm payrolls measures the difference in the number of, people employed during the previous month, excluding farming. So basically job creation. So more jobs were created, more people were employed. And a big dip in the SPY here, a big dip in the Q. Q at 379.50s. 379.50s. Got a little pullback. All right, so again, people are asking, like, what's the difference between unemployment and non-farm payrolls? Okay, so unemployment is the amount of people that are not at work, that are not working. So we can have more people, we can have more people working as well as more people filing for unemployment. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't understand, so, okay, unemployment determines how many people are without work. Right? Non-farm payrolls determines how many people have recently become employed. And so it seems like it seems the same, but again, non-farm reflects short-term job market growth. Unemployment represents long-term trend. All right, Q at 380s. Again, SPY at 453s. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step is the most legit futures funded program in the world. And you can day trade these economic releases on Top Step. And again, what they do is they give you a demo in futures. And in futures, you can day trade the S&P with no restriction with the PDT rule. And you can day trade the NASDAQ and what's called the NQ, which is the same thing as the Q in price action wise with no PDT rule. And the patterns move very similar to patterns in like big cap stocks like Tesla, NVIDIA, so forth and so on. But there's no PDT rule. So you can day trade as much as you want. Top Step's the most legit funded program in the world. They give you a demo, they test your skill. If you can hit the target on that demo while following their rules, they fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. Again, they're the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions every year in actual withdrawals. Fund thousands a year, and it's the best of both worlds in my personal subjective opinion. Again, limited risk. If you lose, it's only $49 a month, and so if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You still have some pressure, and it kind of teaches you how to trade, but if you're good enough to pass it, you still get 90% split anyway, so it's similar to putting the money up yourself with less risk. But again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor because they pay me money, but if you want to check them out, here is the link. Great way to help support the channel. Yeah, I heard about my Forex fund, but again, I don't know. But what I will say is that Forex industry is much different than commodities, than futures, right? Futures are most of the time allowed in the United States, right? So there's a difference between that and like Forex, which is not regulated here in the US a lot, unless it's like very specific brokerages. It's much more, there's much more red tape in Forex than there are in futures. All right. So that's the big difference there that y'all have to understand. Like if you want to trade Forex in the US, a lot of the time you have to have like a VPN and like, you know, mask your IP and all that different stuff. Futures is not the same thing, right? So futures is much less red tape here in the US. Is AMC ripping? Hey, we'll see if it continues. AMC is ripping. It's back up to $13 a share. Again, Tesla still pushing, Nvidia still pushing, Q still pushing up. There's Nvidia right here as well. So Nvidia all the way up to 497.50s here, 497.50s. Salary is the biggest expense. Hey, look at Nvidia rip up, guys. Will Nvidia break $500 anytime soon? It's getting pretty close. Yeah, and I mean, guys, you'll have to understand. Payroll numbers, again, to be honest, what this report really showed was neutral results, right? It had higher payroll numbers, so like more economic growth, and a higher unemployment rate, so less economic growth, right? So it's pretty neutral. So people acting like it's super bearish are usually just biased by their own positions or what they want to happen with confirmation bias. The market seems to think it's bullish, but again, I don't know either way. I'm just kind of covering the move. But again, what I will say is that it's not super bearish. Unemployment rate's a little bit higher, but I think a lot of people wanted that with inflation fears and all the stuff. They wanted to put like a damper on the job market a little bit. But again, payroll numbers also came in high, so it's actually pretty mixed, to be honest. Yeah, Nvidia getting close to 500 is right under 498. So again, the SPY just broke highs as well. It's at 153.50. 153.50 means Fed might not potentially, may potentially not increase again. Yeah, that's the big thing, right? The big thing is like if you look at the CME Group's Fed Watch tool. Yeah, but you're talking about mortgages, you know. Again, of course, mortgage people want the market to fall because that means interest rates drop. But the mortgage rates aren't the end-all, be-all economic indicator. You know what I mean? And mortgage rates have gone up much higher historically as well. So it's not like 7% is the highest they've ever been. And so again, you can't look at just one metric. You got to look at everything. Tesla finally dipping down a little bit. We got a small pullback. And again, as I said, this doesn't have to hold. It's very possible this reverses and comes back down as well. We don't know what's going to happen. We can only kind of speculate on it and watch it. I do see Tesla dipping down some. Yeah, if we look at the CME Fed Watch tool here, which is a big, important thing, 87%. Let me refresh this just to see if we get the newest percentage report. Okay, yeah, 87% of people still think we're going to pause or skip the next cycle. 13% think we're going to raise rates. So most people still think we're going to skip or not. Most people are dovish next Fed cycle, which is September 20th, I believe, in about 20 days. Yeah, market has been waiting for unemployment to go up. And so that's most likely, like Pawn said, that's most likely why the market is reacting positively, is because the market, you know, again, one thing that the Fed and Jerome Powell referenced during these meetings is that unemployment hasn't really budged. And that's not necessarily a good thing if inflation is bad, right? And so this might be music to people's ears in terms of inflation worries. This might kind of put some, put some of those worries to rest with unemployment going up a little bit, you know. Again, non-farm payroll data came in higher than expected. Unemployment came in higher than expected. All right, guys. So yeah, we're watching this. So we got a little bull flag here, I think, right now. So we got a small little bull flag. All right, so we got a small dip. Do we buy the dip here? All right, so a little bot back up on 453. Let's watch this level here. This level is held a couple different times, and so let's watch let's watch that 453 spot. Is the CME watch tool changed? Let me see. Yeah. Oh man. So it's only 9% now. So it went all the way up to 91%. So yeah, after this higher unemployment data. Again, after this higher unemployment data, it's all the way down to 9%. Hey, John, do you know a broker that allows you to buy stocks that is affected by the SEC rule? I'm trying to purchase shares. Yeah, I have no idea what that rule is. OG. No idea, bro. Yeah, but I mean, okay, so just to give you guys some understanding into like economics, right? To give you guys some understanding into economics, right? So the Fed raises rates in order to curb spending, right? So when the Fed raises the federal funds rate, that affects banking margins. When banking margins are affected, they in turn raise interest rates on consumers to compensate for it, right? So that's the correlation where a higher federal funds rate means banks raise interest rates. When banks raise interest rates, consumers stop spending as much, right? And when consumers stop spending, prices drop because businesses must in turn lower prices to compensate for the lack of spending. And so in turn, that's the trickle effect of all this stuff where it trickles into everything else, right? So that is why the Fed raises rates. That's the theory. That's the theoretical reason why the Fed chooses to raise rates to curb inflation, to make inflation drop. And again, the next cycle, every 6 weeks, the Fed meets to determine how much they want to raise or lower rates. And you know, with that, the next one is September 20th, right? So September 20th, you can look at the CME watch tool here and see the probability of a rate hike is at 9%, 91% plus. Over 90% of people think we are not going to raise rates this next cycle. We're instead going to skip or pause or whatever you want to call it. And so that is the logic of the Fed here, just to give you kind of an understanding of economics. And Big Papa Jerome Powell is the head of the Fed. Every 6 weeks, they do their press conference, their rate hike decision. And then weeks after that, you get what's called the Fed Minutes Report, the FOMC Minutes, the Fed Minutes Report, detailing why they chose to make the decision they did in the last cycle. You know, so that's basically what it is. And again, we got a little dip here. But initially, the markets reacted positively to this report, initially at least. It doesn't mean we're going to continue to react positively. It doesn't mean we're going to go up, down. I don't know. But so far, the markets reacted well. All right, guys. So let's get ready to do this, guys. And again, if you want to day trade with me today, again, I'm trading on a platform called Top Step. They are a sponsor of mine, so I'm certainly bullish. I'm certainly biased, of course, but I think they're incredibly useful because it allows traders to have limited risk, yet a lot of the same benefits of putting the money up yourself. All right, so we are trading on our funded account today on Top Step, and you can kind of see in our Express funded account, we are up nicely today. This should be our funded account. Yep, it is. Cool. Got a little bounce just now on the SPY. Again, we've been day trading the NASDAQ here in our funded account. We bought this little dip right here at the bottom and took some profit at the top. And again, if you want to day trade with me on this, again, they are a sponsor. I'm biased, but it's a great way to learn to trade with limited risk. Like, again, when I first got started trading, I lost thousands of dollars in the first couple of weeks, day trading sketchy penny stocks on an overseas brokerage that gave me 6-to-1 leverage. I just lost my butt trading. In the first few weeks, and most new traders lose money. It doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow. Most new traders are going to lose money, and most new traders are probably going to lose on Top Step too, because most day traders lose. It has nothing to do with Top Step. It's just most day traders lose, right? But that's kind of the point, is that it's a lot cheaper to lose on Top Step, and if you pass it, you still get 90% split. So the reward is similar to putting the money up yourself, and just less risk, in my opinion. And again, great way to learn how to trade in the futures market. You can day trade the S&P and what's called the E-mini, the NASDAQ, and what's called the NQ currencies, gold, silver, all that good stuff. Again, no PDT restrictions, and it's just the most useful way to learn how to trade. If I had to start over, that's what I would do. But again, I am biased, of course. If you want to check out the link, there it is. Hello? Hi. All right, guys, so we still got 800 people here. SPY still moving up, still heading up. Looks good. As long as it gives me my credit. Let me see. Let me pull this screen back up. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, there we go. Nice. All right. All right, we got a little cushion on the day, a little cushion. Little pop up there on the SPY at 453s. NVIDIA still breaking over 498s, trying to break over 498s. Do you still have the partnership? No, so there was only a couple month deal with Moomoo, and they're great. I love Moomoo, but I'm just not doing, not sponsored by them anymore. Again, I wanted to kind of dwindle down my sponsors. I don't want to do too many plugs. I think too many plugs is too much. So we only have 2 sponsors. It's just easier. Man, look at the NASDAQ pop. I like the pattern here. But who knows what we're gonna get. Again, SPY at 453.30s, 453.30s. You know, we're only down 5% from all-time highs. Yeah, all good. Hey, John, what does Top Step mean when they want me to upgrade a CME data package? If you want level 2 and other data, I'm not sure which data release or which data package you're talking about, but it's most likely like more real-time level 2 data is my guess. All right, big little pullback here. Again, I'm just kind of sitting tight. We're just kind of hanging out, sitting tight here. Another green day in my portfolio for stocks. Tesla's still sitting kind of on the sidelines here. Yeah, big pullback short term on the S&P and the E-mini here. Look at this dip. Still got about 30 minutes. We got ISM. Hold on, guys. Hello. Here, hold on. I'm streaming right now. Hold on, baby. All right, guys. I use a little bit of everything. I use a little bit of a 5-minute time frame. I use a 1-minute time frame to scalp. I've got 4 big monitors here on my screens, and so we got like multiple different monitor setups here. Again, small little green day so far today. All right, team. Yeah. All right, guys. We're just kind of sitting tight waiting for the market to open here. We got a little bounce. Part of me wants to buy this dip, and I guess I will. All right, so we're in one contract here in futures. Ideally looking for a little bounce up. Already got a little cushion on the day. We might add a little bit to this if we can. Yeah, kind of flat here on this, sitting back waiting. All right, slightly green now. Watching the SPY. SPY looks kind of strong here. Depends on what the NASDAQ does. Who knows? All right, so there's 2 contracts. We're not going to take anything more than this. All right, took half off there. Lock that in. And then we're kind of scalping in our Express account right now just to build up a cushion first. So we're taking small gains. We're up about $110. Again, small gains. Once we yeah, I'm looking at some other data. So it looks like we got out of that just in time. All right. Got a little pop back up. Again, we're mostly sideways over the last couple minutes, but look at NVIDIA here. NVIDIA almost up to 498 right now. Look at NVIDIA on the bottom right. NVIDIA almost up to 498. You can see the SPY all the way up at 453s. Market wanted to rip again. Yeah, I mean, market's trying to come back up. It's still pretty flat, though. Like, we're pretty neutral here. Again, you can kind of see over the last couple minutes, we have this kind of trend. Mostly just kind of a sideways neutral trend. I don't know if we're going to get anything else from this, but again, Tesla's still moving back up. Tesla almost up at 259. Again, one of the big stories is watching NVIDIA. If NVIDIA starts to run towards 500, that might drag everything else back up with it. You know, so if NVIDIA starts to run towards 500, again, that might drag everything else up. Again, we got a little pop up on the NASDAQ. All right, we got a little dip here in the NASDAQ, a little dip here in the SPY, a little dip here in NVIDIA, right around 297s or 497s, I mean. NVIDIA probably needs a correction in the short term. I don't think it's happening today with the unemployment rate coming in higher. Well, the market wanted higher unemployment. Again, they reacted positively to higher unemployment. So again, SPY at 453 is mostly just flat action here. We do have we have ISM manufacturing PMI data today at 10 a.m. And ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 today, guys. 10 a.m. And we got ISM manufacturing PMI. Sorry, we still got about 25 minutes. Yeah, so ISM data, which is manufacturing strength or weakness, drops this morning. All right, team. Almost here. Let's see if we get anything good. All right, unemployment came in today much higher than expected at 3.8%, guys. 3.8%. Again, now we got PMI data coming out. We still got this little bull flag. I mean, we've mostly had consolidation. Dollar General. Did it bounce back a little bit? Yeah, it did bounce back a little bit. It's almost back up to where it was previous day, so it's not the end of the world there, I think, for Dollar General. DG had the bad earnings. That's what ultimately impacted it negatively here. Again, AMC still up around 13. It's not quite there yet. We still got some time. PMI data is at 10:15 market time. Or I'm sorry, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. market time. Sorry, guys. 10 a.m. Yeah, non-farm payroll data was much higher than expected. Unemployment was much higher than expected. So technically it's mixed. So like technically it's mixed. Again, Tesla at 258.30s, 258.30s. If AI replaces jobs and people lose income, who will buy stuff? I mean, I think that's sensationalizing it. I think AI is going to replace jobs, but I think also it's going to build jobs as well. And that's what a lot of people are talking about. Like, of course, it's going to replace jobs because it influences production, but it's mostly going to replace jobs specifically in stuff like photography and writing. And so it's going to create other jobs elsewhere as well. Like they're going to have AI analysts, AI data inputs, programmers, all this different AI jobs are going to be created as well. So it's just going to be this new market. It's going to, again, one of the ways to really think about this, okay, is that AI is going to increase production almost universally in a lot of different areas, right? With that, that's going to bring more jobs in those areas. Like production is going to increase, and in turn, employment is going to increase as well. And so you got to look at it from the right perspective. Is it gonna take away jobs? Sure, but still something that it's going to create them as well. Again, SPY all the way up to 453.20s, 453.20s, NASDAQ at 15,500. Still showing that bull flag looking thing. Again, NVIDIA is really close here. $500 is not very far away from NVIDIA, so NVIDIA certainly could move up from this report. All right, guys. All right, again, we're up to the top of the range again. Yeah, I'm just hoping the prop firm stuff I'm reading about is only based in Forex and it doesn't move over to actual like commodities or like futures. Yeah, baby. Yeah, all right. Anybody want to say hey to Carol? Or you don't have to come on, I guess, if you don't want to. Carol's here. You look good.
Morning.
I know.
Thanks. Morning, everyone.
Look at the dollar index check. Non-farm is up. Yeah, unemployment came in much higher than expected today at 13. Or I'm sorry, not at 13. At 3.8% versus 3.5% expected. So unemployment came up, but payroll numbers also came up, which is very interesting dynamic where more people started working and more people claimed they were unemployed in the same period. So hey, it's interesting. And yeah, Carol, what do you think? Higher unemployment. Honestly, the market reacted pretty positively to it because like the inflation has been such a problem over the last year that a lot of like the Fed, like that you know, Jerome Powell and the Fed probably wanted higher unemployment, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, I see the inflation every single day when I go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Oh, prices are definitely up. Food is the
It's
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Food's definitely high. Fake numbers. I mean, everybody always says they're fake, but
Morning.
yeah, we got Tesla dipping down under 258, so Tesla's falling down a little bit. Look at the new Model 3 they just debuted, baby. So you're trying to tell me you wouldn't want this car, baby? It does like a what, 11 seconds, quarter mile stock? You know?
Is that one? Is that?
This isn't the Plaid, right? The Plaid is like the really freaking fast one. The Plaid's almost too fast for me because Carol, I'd be nervous Carol driving the Plaid. I'm not saying she's a bad driver, but like the Plaid freaking sticks you to the seat when you hit the gas, or when you hit, not the gas, when you hit the pedal, it sticks you to the seat.
I kind of have a heavy foot.
Yeah, Carol's a faster driver than I am, to be honest.
In my defense, though, when you drive in a big city like Houston, it's kind of like, it's different than driving in other places. So it's kind of,
yeah, man. She fast and furious.
You gotta be like a kind of defensive, aggressive driver, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What's she doing there? Yeah, man. I mean, you know, you guys know me. I'm just living in my mom's basement here. You know, I don't know what a girl's doing here. You know, just living life in my mom's basement, like always. You know.
Who said you were living in your mom's basement?
Oh, bro, that's the biggest thing I get accused of. It was really bad when we stayed at your mom's house in Michigan.
Oh.
One time your mom walked by and they were like, "Yep, got him." You know, there she is. Yeah, we knew it this whole time.
That's my mom.
Well, no, we went on vacation in Michigan. I actually really like Michigan. Michigan's really nice. It's like Michigan's freaking quiet. The weather's nice. It's not super hot, you know.
It was like 60 something the other day when I called mom.
Yeah.
It's like 100 something down here, so
it's so hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny. I've been trying to talk Carol into letting us get a Tesla. I mean, I could buy a Tesla. I just, you know, I'd have to write it off as a business expense, but I've been slowly chipping away at her. Like, hey, baby, look at the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck comes out. You're telling me you wouldn't like this truck right here? Look at this thing.
No.
Beauty on the eyes, man. Look at this thing. Just beauty on the eyes right like here.
Looks like a hunk of garbage.
It looks like a freaking Mars rover, baby. Like, yeah, it's actually fast. But okay, would it make you feel better if you found out that it's bulletproof stock? It's bulletproof stock.
That's better.
It literally floats on water. Okay, and it's fast and has great mileage, right?
Yeah, well, the bulletproof thing might be the only thing that would convince me otherwise.
It's bulletproof. Like, come on now, man. Like, listen, and it has better towing power than like a lot of the big name trucks. You know,
it just looks ridiculous.
It looks great, dude. Honestly, your heads are gonna turn when you see this thing.
The thing with Teslas is I don't like something that could take over driving for me and drive me somewhere that I don't want to go. You know, that's the only thing that kind of bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
I like knowing that I have control over my vehicle.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, to each their own, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair though, with that argument, even the modern cars, like they're so electric based, regardless of whether they're pure EVs like Tesla or whether they're hybrids or whether they're somewhere in the middle in between those. A lot of the same argument can be said about them as well. You know, so like, you know, you might not be as safe as you think.
Look.
The Tesla Plaid, you can regulate it on the app. My wife has a lead foot, so I have the car governed. Yeah, I'd have to govern Carol for sure.
Oh, wow.
Lift kit, put on some 35s. Hey. Beginner trading, moving to mobile with the bulletproof glass. Hey, beginner Cybertruck streams coming. I probably could stream from it, honestly.
Yeah, it's just not very good on the eyes. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's beautiful, bro. Honestly, okay, so here's the thing with Tesla, right? With Tesla, you're supposed to turn heads. You know, they used to turn heads. Now, every time I leave my house, I see like 30 Teslas on the road. So, the regular Teslas are not as head turning as like they used to be.
Yeah.
The Cybertruck definitely will be. I think it'll break records, but the Cybertruck will definitely turn heads. Yeah, plus it's gonna drive itself, full self-driving. You know,
See,
like
really
you know
like
our
that.
car right now. You know our car. You love the car we have now
but I'm
because
still
it drives
driving
itself.
it though. I'm
Right.
still the one who's driving it, even if I put the autopilot.
I know, but
on.
you can do the same thing on Tesla. You can grab the wheel whenever you want.
But I don't like the fact that it could take, like, basically if I set it, or even if I don't set it, that it could take over without me wanting to and drive me somewhere. Like, you have outstanding tickets and it's going to drive you to the police station.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that kind of bothers me a little bit.
yeah, I feel you. You know, I
And
get
also,
it.
I know it's good that, we're coming out with things that are more green energy, but I like just the old fashioned. Like, I like being able to step on the pedal and
Gas.
feel the car. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you could feel the road with the.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with this person though. Like full self-driving is the future. Like in 10 years, cars are going to drive themselves. And it'll probably be a safer world. You know, because like one of the biggest things is like car accidents, right? So it'll probably be like a safer world, in my opinion. I think programming and like FSD is going to be good. It's going to be so good.
Well, it depends on who's in control of all those programs.
Yeah. Dogs running loose? You better make sure.
No, they're in.
Okay. Here. Okay, good. Speaking of Tesla now falling down a little bit here. Here's Tesla on the top right, dipping down to 257s. It's still up a lot over the last week or two. Nvidia is the one to watch with AI. It's almost up to 500. 500 is that big level, and it's pretty close.
Oh, well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate the compliments.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. All right, baby.
All right. Well, here, let me talk to you real quick.
Okay. All right, guys. Carol's out of here. Sorry, talked to her for a second, but
Yeah. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a good weekend. Safe and healthy.
Yeah.
To everyone. It's that kind of day.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, baby. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Yeah, Nvidia getting close to 500. It's at 498.50 or so. 498.50. So it's pretty close. It's got a chance. Maybe just don't let her run in. You want to see my pup, Rosie, my baby? This is my baby, Rosie, right here. Let me show you. Rosie, baby, come here. Come here. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. You just my baby. Oh, thank you, baby. You are just a pretty girl. You are just the prettiest girl, Rosie. That's my baby. All right. All right. Here, don't let her walk around.
All right, come on.
Here, baby. Yeah, don't let her.
Come on.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I'm not going to let Bruce in. No, because he'll
Yeah. All right. Love you, Rosie.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby.
That's my baby girl. All right, guys. So AMC still under $13. Again, so NASDAQ all the way at 15.7K, 15.7K. Tesla at 257s. NVIDIA at 498.50s, 498.50s. Yeah, NVIDIA's getting close. The closer it gets to 500, the greater the chance it's going to break it, of course. But, like, that's the question. All right, so NVIDIA up to almost 499 here, about $1 away, $1 away. All right, so we got a little dip on the NASDAQ here. Tesla falling down some, but it's up a lot already on the day. Will NVIDIA break 500 here? Let me end this poll, bull or bear. We got about 1,100 votes. Does NVIDIA break 500? NVIDIA close over $500 today? Question. Does NVIDIA close over $500 today? Yes or no? Vote on that poll. Yeah, we're pretty flat, dude. Look how flat the market is in terms of the NASDAQ over the past like hour or two. Pretty flat here. I mean, we got a slight upward trend, but it's pretty sideways. And if you want to join my firm, Top Step, a sponsor of mine, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. But again, one of the great ways is that it limits your risk. It's a great challenge for traders where your risk is limited. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. The base one's $49 a month. But if you can pass it, you get a 90% split once funded. They pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year. They fund thousands of traders a year. They're the most legit futures firm in the world, in my opinion. But that is subjective. But again, great way to help learn how to trade. When I first day traded, I lost thousands in the first couple of weeks. This is a way to limit your risk. And in futures, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, currencies, gold, silver to a certain extent as well. And again, there's no PDT in futures, which is why most pro day traders trade futures. And again, a great way to test your skill, potentially, learn how to trade under pressure, all that good stuff. And if you're good enough, you can get funded. If you're not good enough, you're probably going to lose less than you would putting the money up yourself anyway. Again, with all that said, if you want to check them out, here's the link. And so we got the NVIDIA poll. Will NVIDIA close over 500? 59% think yes, 41% think no. Market opens up in about 3.5 minutes. We only need like 60 subs away to break. We only need 60 subs away to break 114,000 guys. So listen, we got like 500 or 600 people still here. Try it one time. It might feel good. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Do it now. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Again, we do have ISM data dropping very soon this week, or very soon today. ISM manufacturing PMI data at 10 a.m. All right, guys. So we're sitting tight. Nvidia back under 498s. Tesla back over 257s. All right, guys. Y'all ready? We got a minute left. All right, so here's the opening bell, team. Good luck. All right, so there's the opening bell. Again, Tesla has popped up pretty decently since the open here. AMC down to 1270s. This is moving. Microsoft moving up nicely. PayPal back up a little bit. Target back up some. Snapchat up more. Exxon moving up too. If we hold, Apple's still treating me really nice. Still bumping up a little bit. Look at Tesla back up to 259s. Nvidia still sitting at 497s or so. All right, Tesla dipping down around the previous closing price. The NASDAQ pulling back again. I'm kind of sitting tight right now. ENPH doing better. Honeywell doing better. Microsoft doing better. PayPal all the way back up. Target doing okay. Nvidia all the way down to 495.50s or so. Yeah, I'm in MPH too. Yeah, MPH is up a decent amount. Yeah, Disney looking weak. I might add a little bit to it way down here. Maybe some bad news happening with it. Charter says it's at the edge of the precipice with Disney blackout. Again, Tesla turned all the way back down under 257. It's a very weak looking sign. Nvidia back up to test the VWAP here though. Yeah, Disney all the way down to $81 or so. Again, we're not holding the biggest position on it now. We took the last profit at like 91s. We're holding a little bit though, but it's kind of a long-term trade. So like, again, it might be dipping short-term, but it doesn't matter too much. We're actually still green on the day in stocks as well. Although it's small, we're up like 50 bucks, 30 bucks. Again, I'm going to short this. I think the market's looking weak right now. And so we're going to take 2 contracts here short. Two contracts short, looking for a flush back down. We are going to have to cover this pretty quickly here. Luckily, we already had a green day, so I don't want to push too heavy. Ugh, just getting punished. We break the top of this range, we have to cut it. Yeah, we're just gonna have to cut that. So we ended up losing about 400 on the day. We actually were already green on this funded account, so it's all good. But man, Tesla ended up bouncing back. I'm just gonna sit quiet. We're too close to the open, and I'm gonna switch this account because I don't want to give too much back on this specific funded account. Let me see. Three. All right, there we go. Yeah, it definitely hasn't been the best week for me day trading. And honestly, it looked like it would have worked too. So I just got faked out there. There's the market starting to turn a little bit. So like, again, it looked like it would have worked. Just got faked out a little bit. But I think I just got to sit quiet. Disney actually bouncing back though, ironically enough. I'm wondering when my dividend is going to be paid on Honeywell. Let's see. Where do you see dividends paid out on TOS? Does anybody know? Big dips here, so my short would have worked too. It just kind of stopped me out, stop loss hunted me. CCL, Foot Locker. Yeah, I don't necessarily like Foot Locker long term. Although Foot Locker's up the last couple days, I think Foot Locker's gonna have a hard road. And it's been down a lot since earnings. Okay, gotcha. On TD Ameritrade, it's under transactions. Let me see if they paid me yet. NASDAQ looking weak into the open. It's already been such a green week already, though, so, like, it's not the end of the world. Check my divvy payments here. Dividends. Yeah, I don't see it yet. Who knows when they'll give it to me. Man, look at the NASDAQ just getting really weak. NVIDIA all the way down to 492s. Disney actually bouncing up a little bit, which is odd. Again, just to put this into perspective, the SPY, the NASDAQ are still very green on the day, despite this slump we got in stocks. Still very green day, very green week, but red action for sure. We're down a little bit too much for me to like this too, so I'll have to wait for a little pop bounce. The data wasn't bad. It was kind of neutral. Non-farm payroll numbers were higher than expected, so that signals economic growth. Unemployment rate was higher than expected, so that signals economic weakness. And so it's kind of flat report where one was good, one was bad. It is the first day of September, though, and if we do get a September slump, I mean, it is something to pay attention to and watch. We're at 81.3s. Big red at the open, though. NVIDIA under the previous closing price. So NVIDIA technically red on the day now. Technically red. Disney has bounced back half of the drops it made at the opening bell. So again, and somehow we're still technically green on the day despite all the redness. If you want to see my P&L today so far. We are up 21 whopping dollars. Listen to my pups. Yeah, the market can fake me out the first couple minutes, but it's all good. Yeah, I added a little bit to my Disney trade too, to be honest. But it's not the biggest position. Tesla bouncing up a little bit. NVIDIA still testing that level. I'm going to let things settle down some. I'm still looking to short. I'm still probably short biased. And I'm watching NVIDIA very closely because if NVIDIA cracks under lows, that might signal me to short some more. There we go. I just made about 45 bucks real quick. Big breakdown. I made about $75. Man, we haven't had a red candle since the opening bell, believe it or not. Or no, so we've only had one red candle or one green candle since the opening bell. We haven't had one green candle on the NASDAQ since the open. Yeah, it's a shepherd. Disney back over VWAP, almost back up to $82 a share. Yeah, again, we're just down too much a little bit for me to really want to jump on this short. We got a little gain in here. You kind of see me on this account for the day. We're up a little bit over $70. We're down a little bit too much for my taste. I could buy, I might pivot to a more bearish trend or bull move, but I'm watching Tesla here as well. If Tesla cracks lows. All right, so we bought the dip, although catching a falling knife is never a fun move. But we'll give it a try. Just because we've had so much red candles that, like, eventually we're going to get green ones, most likely. All right, so we just made a little bit more. We are up now 135 or so. We got a cushion on this account on the day. All right, guys, and remember, in 3 minutes we have PMI data, just base manufacturing PMI. We have ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 a.m. Bruce, hush, buddy. Hush, bud. Roblox is moving back up. I got that $30 call option on Roblox. And it's an October option, so it expires in like a month and a half. But yet, somehow I'm still down a lot on it. The Greeks are bad. No, I don't really track how many times the poll is right or wrong. Yeah, this music has got to go. All right, back to being nicely green on the day here. Green in Apple, green in EMPH, green in Etsy, green in Ford, green in Gold, green in Honeywell, green in Microsoft, green in PayPal, green in Roblox, green in RTX, green in Snapchat, green in Target, green in Tyson Foods, and green in Exxon. Are my swing trades doing me right so far? Again, remember ISM manufacturing PMI drops at 10 a.m. Expected at ISM manufacturing, we are expected at 47. We'll put that up on screen so you guys can see it. ISM manufacturing PMI drops at in about 15 minutes. We also have regular PMI data, which is, again, regular PMI data drops basically right now, expected at 47. So we got regular manufacturing PMI for August and then ISM manufacturing PMI at August. They're both expecting the same thing at 47. Manufacturing prices are expected at 43.9. Oh man, we're very green on the day now. I'm trying to see what it is. Okay. Roblox, PayPal, Honeywell, Disney. Okay, so it's Disney all the way back up. So Nvidia just broke lows again. All the way down to 485s, or 488s, I mean. Again, we're at 253s on Tesla now, so cracked lows. Again, just to put this in perspective, though, the NASDAQ and the SPY are both still technically green on the day today. You know, so green on the day still, even with these moves. Even if NVIDIA's red, even if Tesla's red. Again, Apple's green, Microsoft's green. Honeywell, green. EMPH, green. Ford, green. Microsoft, green. Hey, what's up, Brim? Yeah, it's pretty standard. I mean, again, market activity is market activity. So manufacturing PMI data, sorry guys, manufacturing PMI data dropped at 47.9, so slightly higher manufacturing output. So you can kind of see this downward candle here once this data dropped, but slightly higher than expected manufacturing output. And again, I think the market's fearing inflation, so I think to a certain extent the market doesn't want higher numbers here. All right, so consolidation after big pullbacks here. Again, I'm still green on the day in my stock trades. Get a little bounce back up. Is it time to bounce? I might buy a little bit here. It's a risky trade. And usually I'm kind of shorting right here, but I think these have faked me out enough lately where I can kind of pivot to the other side. But who knows, man? Again, already green about 140 on this account on the day. I think almost the bearish sentiment here is too easy, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see if it punishes me. Very close to lows. So yeah, punished. And yeah, definitely punished. Well, Definitely not a good end of the week. I'll probably scale down my size a little bit at this point. Just not worth it. Let me switch over. I might switch to the E-mini as well. But again, I mean, losing days, losing weeks happen. Every week's not going to be green. The only people that claim every week is green is people trying to sell you stuff, sell you a course. I could laugh at it and be okay. Let me see which. All right. All right, so there's the NASDAQ. Again, we might look at the E-mini here instead. Market breaking down pretty fast, though. Tesla's still at 252, so it's over 250 still. Again, we got manufacturing data dropping in a couple minutes. Market looks like it wants to come back a little bit now. Hopefully you guys are doing better than me this week. John, are you okay? And what do you mean? At the end of the day, there's no sense to look at the market. Yeah, I mean, again, this week was definitely a losing week, but every week's not green. And again, anybody that claims that every week is green is usually just trying to sell you a course. I've learned to kind of separate myself from this money. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all good. I'm green in stocks, Kenny, this week for sure. Definitely green in stocks. I would say in futures, I'm probably down like $400, $500 maybe. You know, which is not like a crazy big shock to be down that much. You know what I mean? Like in these funded account programs, you got to swing, you got to push. I've got multiple of them, and we've gotten funded in 2 of them over the last 30 days. So like I think we're down like 200 in our funded account when we made 200. So in our actual funded account, I think we're pretty close to flat on the week actually. But when in our other combine accounts where we're trying to get funded, I think we're down some for sure this week. But again, green in stocks, and so it's kind of mixed, to be honest. Oh, well, I mean, in terms of just general money making, Kenny, I'm green every week, you know. It's not something I ever hide from. All right, and honestly, we're doing pretty good in this last funded account that we're trying on. Again, I told you we were switching to the E-mini, and you can kind of see we're up about 125 on the remainder. So today we're actually green if we add up everything. So again, you can kind of see this here. Here's our graph in this account, which we're red in 2 other accounts, so it doesn't mean much, but we're up 700 in this one, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, again, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm green every week, regardless of what my trading P&L looks like. And again, I'd rather somebody that's honest, and I'm honest. You know, I'm green no matter what. You were praying? I don't know when I was praying. I don't think I was praying anything. Not saying I don't pray, but I'm just saying I don't remember praying on stream anytime. Again, I'm not the most religious dude. I'm definitely not like fundamental. Yeah, I'd rather not go into religion, but like, yeah. AMC still not holding, and again, Nvidia's way down there. Yeah, I mean, trading's great. again, people get weird, but like the way I always try to explain it to people is like, look, man, like, okay, so say you're a mechanic, right? This is the example I always use. Say you're a mechanic, right? And say you start like an online mechanic resource website, right? Or an online mechanic forum. And say that forum starts to get good views, good clicks, good hits, right? Eventually, you're going to make far more money from running that mechanic forum than you're ever going to make as an actual mechanic. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of the nature of the online. And so I certainly make more money running this YouTube channel than I do trading. But it's not reasonable to expect anything else otherwise, especially a channel called Beginner Trading that's just kind of giving free resource and community for traders and just kind of giving away economic stuff, right? Covering economic data. Again, I provide value certainly because we cover the data very quick. Like, so you can pay $30K for Bloomberg Terminal or you can watch our live streams for free. And so we're definitely providing value. But I think some people just don't like to see other people make money. You know, I think sometimes when other people make money, people who are struggling or not where they want to be, they kind of lash out is what it usually is. It's something I noticed from this. And it's all good. You know, I wish them the best. Hey, well, thanks, Matthew. I appreciate it, bro. Buying the TQ here. TQ is not short Q, right? TQ is just regular Q, just cheaper, right? Let me see. Yeah, that's right. SPY's starting to get some legs back up. Still technically green on the day. SPY previous closing price was at 450.35. So it's trying to go green on the day. Or it's still green on the day. It's trying to hold green. Are you a millionaire? It depends on which way you calculate it. Do I have $1 million liquid dollars? No. Yeah. Do I hold assets that are worth over $1 million? Maybe. You know, you can value this YouTube channel at somewhere high, you know. It's always pokes on red days. Yeah, it's all good. Again, I appreciate anybody engaging with my channel, even if they're secretly just trying to hate, you know. Kind of the Conor McGregor effect. Some people watch you because they want you to do well. Some people watch you because they want to see you lose. Either way, they watch you, you know, so it's all good. Again, manufacturing PMI, we got 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Expectations are 47. Manufacturing PMI, the way it works is over 50 means an expanding manufacturing sector. Below 50 means a contracting manufacturing sector. I think the expectation is a slight contracting manufacturing sector at 47 is what's expected here. 47. People get jealous. Oh, for sure. One thing you realize very quickly with friends and family and everything is that most people don't want you to do better than them. You know, if you do, they get weird. Most friends and family, they want you to do well, but not better than them, you know. Appreciate all the info you give. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate the support, brother. Again, Disney down at 8150s. 8150s. Again, manufacturing PMI drops in about 4 minutes. We got a little bit under 600 people here still, so appreciate y'all spending your morning with me. And in my demo account, I do well. In my real account, the markets do me every time. Well, that mostly has to do with in a demo account, you have no emotional attachment, and you can keep adding to it, taking on larger and larger risk in a demo account without fear. You know, but you're risking a lot, right? If you try to do that in a real account, you're going to have fear, and that's going to influence your trades, as well as you're not going to have the ability to keep adding with big size over and over again until you win. And so most people can make money 90% of the time in a demo account even, but it takes that one bad trade where they just kind of give it all back and they justify it by saying, oh, well, you know, it's a demo account. I was just trading risky. But a lot of them try to do the same thing in a real account and lose. And they would lose either way. Again, if you keep adding to anything, you're going to make money most of the time. But that small percentage of times where it doesn't bounce and it keeps dropping, you're going to destroy the entire account. And that's why people make money most of the time in paper, is because they keep adding. If you keep adding to anything, it's probably going to be profitable. It's one of the reasons DCAing, you know, dollar cost averaging is so effective. long-term in blue chips. But on a shorter term perspective, it can be very risky. Most of the time, eventually it's not going to bounce. Eventually you're going to catch one that just doesn't bounce and just destroys whatever account you're trading. Nvidia starting to bounce back up to basically 490, right around the volume weighted average price as well. We still have less than 2 minutes before manufacturing PMI drops. Oh, exactly. That's exactly right. Your immediate family wants you to do better. Right. So like Carol wants me to do good. Of course, my kids want me to do well. You know, the rest, you know, I'm not saying they don't, but they definitely, you know, can get weird. Friends are probably like old friends that talked a big game when they were younger, usually the biggest haters. New friends are very rarely actual your friends, at least for me. 85% of the time, it works every time. All right, guys, here we got less than a minute here. Less than a minute. We got about 650 people here. Let's see what this gets. What's your prediction for PMI data? Again, expectations are 47. 47. Again, over 50 is an expanding manufacturing sector. Below 50 means a contracting manufacturing sector. We have 47 expectation for ISM data. We got about 30 seconds. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. And yeah, let's do this. Again, 47 is what's expected. Here's 20 seconds. 20 seconds, guys. Again, 47 is what's expected here. Here we go. 5 seconds. And here's the release right here. Let's see what the market does. There's the NASDAQ on the left. All right, so ISM manufacturing came in at 47.6. 47.6, slightly higher than expected. I think this is bearish. I don't think the market wants higher manufacturing output because of inflation problems. At least that's what the economic data signaled previously this week, as well as the regular manufacturing PMI that dropped at 945 caused a similar thing, and it was slightly higher than expected as well here. That's where the last one came out. And again, you can kind of see a similar thing where they both came in slightly higher than expected and the market dipped down initially from this report. So I do think this is somewhat bearish, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is. It looks somewhat bearish, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is. And again, we'll see what happens. NASDAQ's dipping down some here for sure. That was bars and you didn't know it. Well, again, man, my bias is skewed over the last couple years because, like, again, like last few years, man, I've had so many people that come out and they just want to be my best bud, my best friend, and like you'll help them out and you'll do what you can for them, and then like if you don't give them exactly what they want, success in your life makes them jealous and insecure, and they usually get weird. It's either that or they're secretly haters all along, and they're just trying to kind of take advantage of you to see what they can get, you know. Again, I've had friends that came here and within a week were like, "Oh, I love you, bro." You know, I've had friends that tried to mirror my personality. I'd be like, "Yeah, I skateboarded. Oh, I skateboarded too. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Yeah." You know, "Oh, I like Zelda. Oh, I like Zelda too. Oh, man." You know, like just kind of personality mirroring. And so people are just weird, dude. I don't trust anybody. Maybe I just don't trust anybody. Yeah, we'll see. Again, the market bouncing back up a little bit from this ISM report. And we'll see if it holds. Again, one of my other sponsors is a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service. Again, you can use it in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. I love using this on a longer-term time frame. I've been using it a lot on a longer-term time frame as well. There's multiple different ones you can use, but my favorite one lately has been the Market Oracle Pro on a hourly chart. So here's Chart Prime, Market Oracle Pro on an hourly chart. So every candle represents an hour here. And again, just looking at the historicals from this, again, I can't fake this. Every candle represents an hour. Look at this sell signal here. And I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. I can't guarantee accuracy, anything like that. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor, but I can't fake this either. So look, sell signal here. Look at the drops for days of drops. Buy signal, I literally called the very bottom, bounces for hours and days. Sell signal here, drops. Buy signal here, bounce. Sell signal here, drops. Buy signal here, bounce. Sell signal here, days of drops. Buy signal here, days of bounces. You know, and again, sell signal here, drop. Buy signal, bounce. Powerful, in my opinion. Powerful, in my opinion. This is just a small piece of what they offer. Again, you can use it in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. Just genuinely useful here. Genuinely useful. Again, if I put up a 5-minute chart, I can use the same thing on a shorter term time frame. And this is just a small piece. They show you chart patterns. Look, a rising triangle, rising wedge. Again, here's a 5-minute chart, and it's kind of the same thing here. Look, the last sell signal was right as well. So look, sell signal here on a 5-minute chart, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes of drops after that signal. And again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money, but genuinely useful. Look, sell signal here, drops. Buy signal here, bounce. Triangle break, worked. And again, this is a small piece. They also have oscillators. They have smart money concepts, oscillators, market dynamics, chart patterns, all this different stuff that you can use. And it's $40 a month. $40 a month. So if you want to check it out, great way to help support the channel. Again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased in their favor because they pay me money. But I always try to be honest about that and tell people I'm biased for transparency reasons. But yeah, check them out here. If I don't use my real name on social media, people just want favors. Yeah, man. People are less likely to call by phone to take advantage. Yeah, again, I don't know. I know I'm not like the biggest social media person ever, but like I think desperate people do desperate things, right? And like most of the people who are the most toxic and the most harmful, and this is a lesson that y'all can learn as well. Most of the people that are the most toxic and the most harmful are desperate people, right? So like maybe they're struggling in business, maybe they're struggling in life. And like, even though like you might just be kind of acquaintances or like new friends or whatever, they're going to look at you to solve all their problems. And if you don't solve their problems and get them out of their desperation state, they're going to take it out on you and blame you for it, even though it has nothing to do with you. Nothing, you know what I mean? But like people get weird. SPY started to go green, but like that's from my experience, like that's what it is, as well as like other friends. Like some of it is also just like friends that talked a big game when we were younger, and now they're not where they want to be, and they kind of lash out at you. Jealousy is a powerful thing, man. It really is. That's why you got to just be supportive. I truly do think if you put good things out in the world, you'll get good things back. Okay, nice. Yeah, again, we'll see what happens. The market's bouncing up a little bit. Still kind of flat, though. The SPY is actually still nicely green. Disney is still back over the volume-weighted average price. Oh. Yeah, again, the way I've been gauging people, and if y'all can use it as a lesson, I don't want to be friends with anybody that's not celebrating my wins with me. If my wins make somebody resentful, they're not your friend. If me doing well makes somebody else mad, they're not your friend. Like if somebody's so self-conscious about their own struggling situation that like your success makes them angry, they're not your friend. And using that standard, I burn bridges as I need to. SPY sitting at 452s. No show on Monday. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the day off. Let's see if I can talk Carol into getting me a Tesla. Or not getting me a Tesla, letting me buy a Tesla. Let me rephrase that. But yeah. Yeah, the numbers today, I mean, I think they weren't terrible. I think they could have been better, but I think the market almost wanted higher unemployment. Like I think higher unemployment is what the market wanted to a certain extent. And getting all the economic data that we've had this week signaled that, right? So all the economic data that we've had this week kind of signaled that, where JOLTS job openings showed less economic growth, right? Less economic growth, less job openings than expected. Market pushed up. Jobless claims came in higher than expected. Market pushed up, right? GDP came in lower than expected. Market pushed up. So like a lot of the stuff this week specifically signaled weak economic growth, but positive bullish market responses because of inflation fears. The reason that's happening is because of inflation fears. Right. So that's why it's going on, is inflation worries and inflation fears. And so, again, the logic that people are having, including the market, is that the less people working means less people spending. When less people spend, businesses lower prices. right? That might help inflation. That's the correlation between all this stuff, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. Again, if you want to check out Top Step and you want to day trade with me, I'll put this link up. Great way to help support the channel. Top Step is the most legit futures funded program, in my opinion. They are a sponsor. Again, I am biased in their favor because they pay me money. But if you want to use them, check them out. Great way to help support your boy here. I'll put this link up. Again, they give you a demo. Just taking the challenge builds your skill. And some demo accounts cost more than $50 anyway. And so for $49, there's great resources. You get funding coaches, a great community. And again, they're going to give you a demo. If you can hit the target while following their rules, they fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K as well in profit. And, you know, again, it's a great way to limit your risk, learn how to trade. A great challenge. Most people are going to fail because most traders lose in day trading, regardless of whether they're on Top Step or not. But it's a lot cheaper to lose a Top Step account than put up 5K, 6K like I did when I first got started and lose that. Again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. Carol was here earlier. She thought the Cybertruck was ugly. The data's already out. Again, the data is right here on screen, or let me say, I'll put the data up on screen real quick. The data is right here. Sorry. Came in slightly higher than expected at 47.6 versus 47, but pretty neutral. All right, so here's the data right there on screen. Again, 47.6 versus 47. Yeah, I don't know if it'll fit in my garage either. But hopefully, you know, one day we'll get it. Again, the argument is it's bulletproof. You know, Carol hated it until I told her it was bulletproof and it floated on water. Then she was all like, oh, maybe, you know. So I think that's the argument. SPY actually going back green on the day here. So, hey, maybe we're going to get a green day regardless. I mean, a lot of stuff's starting to head up. Roblox is doing much better here too. We got these Roblox options. Again, I bought these Roblox options. The conditions are, it's Roblox October 20th call options, $30 call options. So again, $30 is the call option. We're at 29.30s. It looks to me like this thing might pay out. Again, if Roblox keeps going up, we got a month and a half, and I think we got time. You know, I think there's a high likelihood that this thing is going to work, help me continue to push. And let me know what you guys think. Again, remember, September is historically a red month for markets, so y'all be careful. Love you all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Y'all stay safe. And yeah, we'll see what the market gives us today, guys. Good luck. Y'all have a safe weekend. Remember, no trading on Monday. Market is closed Monday. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to sleep in. We got a long weekend. I'm pretty pumped about it. But yeah, good luck tomorrow or next week. We got GameStop earnings. We have GameStop earnings. We have C3 AI earnings, which are pretty relevant. Jobless claims. I think services and non-manufacturing and services PMI drops then as well. So we got some stuff to talk about. But yeah, y'all be good. I'll see you guys next week.